of all of us, it's lovely to have you here. Now, I know you're very well known because you've been working, doing all sorts of spiritual things for a long time, but I want to acknowledge that you've also been a professional member of the Tarot Guild for quite a few years now. And as well as that, you've had your own very successful business called Tarot in Action, which is the name of your shop in Moonee Ponds here in Melbourne. And you're the author of a tarot book called Tarot Distinctions. You facilitate astrology, tarot, numerology, and other spiritual programs. You read, and I have to admire you for this, you read at Mind Body Spiritual festivals around Australia, which is Death by Fire. And you also, everyone needs to be very respectful of Ruana today, because not only does she do all those wonderful things, but she also is a Taekwondo instructor and a black belt level in Kyushu Jitsu. So don't mess with me is the message.
And two black belts actually, one in Jitsu and one in Taekwondo.
There you are. So it is a pleasure to have you here, Ruana, and we're all looking very forward to those cards that you're going to talk about today.
Thank you so much, Anne. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm just so grateful to be here. I'm very nervous as well. I'm going to use that energy into the presentation. Thank you to the Tarot Guild for this opportunity as well. I'm chuffed, and I trust we will all learn something new today. I hope most of all I leave you with more questions. So I will run through my presentation, and then we've got a spread to explore at the end, and we'll break off into breakout rooms, 3 in each group, and lovely Cheryl is going to organise all of that, and we're going to have 20 minutes to do little readings on each other, and then we're going to come back and share and see what comes from that. All right, so thank you once again for having me. All right, so as I go through my presentation of my life's journey and milestones, I want you to think about your hero's journey. So I'm going to share my screen now because I have a presentation. Where is it? Here it is. A PowerPoint presentation. All right, there we go. So I decided to do this presentation from when I had my major discussion with Great Spirit shortly after my divorce, about 15 years ago now. I said that I was prepared to commit to changing my life and making it all about helping others, but I still wanted to earn money. I still wanted to travel and purchase property just like any other job. So from that moment on, I gave up on my marriage, smoking cigarettes, dope, alcohol, meat, even coffee, and a lot of my friends as well, which naturally happens after you divorce. I went cold turkey on everything. And this was the moment. I had to change because I didn't like the future I foresaw. And if I kept going the way I was going, it was not going to end well. That evening after my divorce, which by the way was on the 1st of April 2005, my solicitor thought that was hilarious. I was going to celebrate with a lovely bottle of bubbly that I bought for myself. But when it came time to open that bottle, I just couldn't do it, because alcohol was the reason why I found myself in this position. From that moment on, I didn't drink a drop, nor for the next 3 years. Today, I can enjoy a glass of wine or two. It was around this time that I became a board member of the Tarot Guild. I was looking for something more. I said to myself, if I was going to commit to this new path, I wanted to know who were these people. You know, who were the best in Australia? Who were coming from integrity? I had to know. And the best way to know is to get involved, which I encourage all of you to do one day. It's a great experience. In those early days, I remember attending the Tarot Guild monthly meeting in Box Hill with my friend Francesca. It was a hall. I don't know what it was. It was a hall. I remember it was a hall. We used to set up a card table to sell tarot cards, incense, astrology charts, tarot t-shirts. You can see there in my picture that that's what the tarot t-shirts looked like. They were just black and white, and we had them in long sleeves as well. Had a lot of fun selling those tarot t-shirts. We did many festivals, sold them in various shops around Melbourne. T-shirts with Death and the Hermit were selling great in the polyester records shops. And the t-shirts with the High Priestess, Empress and the Star were selling really well in the fairy shops. It was a lot of fun. And this is also where I started to practice my tarot readings at these festivals. I felt confident enough to start putting myself out there doing the readings. Today, I have my own tarot shop where I continue with these readings and classes. I'm so grateful to live there as well. You can see my cat Zachary sitting on the ledge, catching the morning sun, wondering what is mummy doing out on the street. You see, I grew up from a small business family. My tarot shop used to be the milk bar my folks ran, and I grew up there. So I feel it was my destiny to have my tarot business in this very shop. Oh, talking about Francesca, I wonder if that's Francesca. With the Tarot Guild, I stayed on as a board member close to 3 years. I was lucky enough to meet my favourite tarotist, Mary Kay Greer, Rachel Pollock, when they came out to Australia for the Tarot Conference. I don't remember what year it was. I'm sure Anne will remember. I was lucky to have Rachel Pollock grace my humble little shop in Moonee Ponds to do her private readings, and also travelled with her and 18 other Tarot Guild members when we went to Alice Springs and visited Uluru. Yes, we walked around Uluru the whole way around, and later at the bus station after the sun went down and everybody left, Rachel took us through a beautiful meditation. I will always cherish this incredible, powerful moment. Oh, and the date was 08/08/08, a very auspicious date indeed. I also remember the Chinese Olympics commenced on this very day, and the opening ceremony started at 8:08 as well. So today I want to look at the High Priestess, Justice and Judgment tarot cards. I connect with them very strongly with these 3 major arcana cards because they show my journey to date, and hopefully you will see your life's journey as well. You may want to take out these 3 cards so that as we go through them, you have them ready to to refer to, and also when we do the spread. Okay. Numerology. So let's look at numerology first. I first fell in love with numerology. Numerology was the first thing I started to work on with all my esoteric studies. I also did a numerology workshop back then with Tamara. She was she still is a famous Australian numerologist. And I ended up working with her, setting up workshops, upkeeping of database, mail outs, that sort of thing, and all the while learning from her. Also, when I worked at the Nidri Fairy Shop, Lorraine, the owner at the shop at the time, was heavily into numerology as well, and I also learnt from her. And then when tarot came onto the scene, numerology really came alive through the tarot cards. Let's look at the numerology of the number 2. All these 3 major arcana cards connect back to the number 2. We have the number 2 with the High Priestess, number 11 with Justice, and 20 with Judgment. Number 2 is about duality, the creation of balance, fair play, sharing, equality, diplomacy, peace and understanding. The yin to the yang, the unconscious, the instinctual, intuitive and receptive energy. We are looking at the powerful realm of the feminine. I love how the woman is considered to be equal to 2 because she is the one that carries the child. Number 2 represents the symbol of union, not just between 2 people, but also between the 2 sides of ourselves. And in the Chinese culture, it is regarded as an auspicious number because Chinese people believe that good things come in pairs. If we look at my birth date, it's the 11th of March. And yes, I'm a Pisces as well. The number 11 is also a master number, and 11 adds up to the number 2. There are many ideas about master numbers. I like to say that master number people are here to do what I call special work. For example, healers, teachers, presenters, masseurs, volunteers, working with children, the elderly, animals, the environment, working with United Nations even. Many numerologists don't add the number 11 together, but I do, because the number 2 still holds that same energy of sharing, caring, understanding, and connects back to that High Priestess energy. And I like to use both methods actually to get to the best understanding I need to make in the reading. And I'm also one of those that literally sees 1111 everywhere, and I bet many of you do too.